Hey y'all, this is Lionel, founder of Ready Reset Grow, which is a personal growth and development company. I'm coming on tonight to record something that I believe is going to be amazing for people to actually incorporate within their daily lives. Wanted to keep this under 30 minutes, so we're going to stay on task, and my hair is looking crazy, so guys, please forgive me. But wanted to come on here and talk about closure, healthy boundaries, and ghosting, and how they all come together. You hear my dog, he just, Tyson, I just absolutely love him, but sometimes he can be a pain. But so tonight we're going to talk about closure, healthy boundaries, and ghosting. Now, many of you know I am a personal growth and development coach. I have a personal and development company that consults with small businesses and individuals to help them grow, whether it be personally, professionally, or financially. If you follow me on social media, normally my saying is I'm a personal growth and development company. But I partner non-conventional coaching with resources to help people thrive in what may be considered a trying time for them. So I teach my clients how to grow in every season. And whether you're standing on the mountaintop and you're disclosing your victory, or you're in a valley and you're going through tough times, you can win regardless, right? On the mountaintop, you're preparing for that decline is because anything that goes up must come down. So you're not always going to stay there. You may stay there and kind of plateau for a little bit, but eventually you're going to go down and you're going to hit a spot where you may question your calling and your purpose, or hit a financial bump, or have to pivot and change within your profession. And so my responsibility is to give you the tools to shift your mindset, to look at your glass half full, not half empty, and to pick out the things, whether it be your weaknesses or your strengths, and capitalize on each of them. Now, where your weaknesses is going to take you a little bit longer to get into a positive is because anytime that you're building on a negative, you're going to have to do some work, and that work is going to probably stretch you outside of your comfort zone. And then when you're building on your strength, you're only going to get stronger in those areas, but your outlook is going to be different. And that's the glorious thing about growing personally, professionally, and financially. You always want to have a different outlook on life. How you view things at 20 is not how you're going to view things at 30, and it's damn sure not how you're going to view things at 40. Apologize for my language. But tonight I wanted to talk about closure, healthy boundaries, and ghosting, and how you can use each one of them to identify and to move you forward in the right direction to help grow you on your strengths or grow you on your weaknesses. Everything has purpose in life, and everything can be beneficial to you as an individual. So closure, many people use that term when it comes to relationships or partnerships, or some type of interaction with another individual that may or may not go well. So we actually seek closure. We are humans. We have human tendencies, and we desire to know and understand why something has dissolved. Why, that's the ultimate question. You probably hear your kids asking that at a young age. Mom, why? Dad, why? They want to have some type of understanding. It's something that's just built within us to gain knowledge of why something is transpiring, to have a better understanding of what's going on. And so closure provides that. It provides actually two things. It provides one, accountability, for you to offer accountability to somebody else, for you to offer to hold someone else accountable. But then it also opens the platform for someone to have the opportunity to improve and to grow, regardless of whether or not you guys move forward with the relationship, forward with the friendship, or you decide to really kind of limit your engagement with family or professional people. It opens those two things. So it holds people accountable, right? It offers accountability, and then it provides an opportunity for that individual or that particular situation to improve, right? So we see that with reviews with a company. That company provides you with the service, and depending on your interaction with that particular company, they send you a survey. They say, hey, tell us how we did. That is actually closing and sealing the deal and sealing the transaction and sealing the sale. They're asking you to provide feedback is because they want to know how you as an individual customer rates their customer service, interaction, thoroughness, yada, yada, yada. And so what that survey and that closure does, it gives the company and the business owner feedback to see where they can improve. It is detrimental to someone's personal growth and to a business to not know which way to go, of how to improve, because then you're just blindly seeking, okay, well, I don't know if customer service is great. I don't know if my employees are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Is because we're not getting really any feedback. But there are other things that you can pay attention to gauge that. And personally wise, I don't know if I am the problem, right? And you kind of chalk it up to say, other people have issues. So what closure does, it allows you to provide that person with feedback of why you choose either to return as a customer or end the relationship as a partner, or not engage with other family members that may be toxic. And closure is beneficial, but this is the caveat to closure. And please, if you're not taking notes, please take notes. It's because you can refer back to this, because it's not about, if you're going to go through a situation that closure may not be provided or closure is provided. It's when you're going to go through it, right? We're all going to go through a situation where we're either going to be seeking closure, getting closure, providing closure, or not learning how to navigate after not getting closure, right? Take notes. Closure starts from within. So if you purchase something and you received your product, that's your closure. Now, if you go the extra mile and do the survey, that's an added bonus. That's letting the company know, this is what I feel I received from your company and why I will go back. And you can also leave negative feedback. This is what I experienced and I'm not going to return. Do better. I'm famous for that. Me being a personal growth and development business owner, I pride myself on not only growing as an individual, but growing the interaction that I come across on a daily basis. So just a quick testimony. I ordered a particular detox, and this was about in June. From June until August, very limited follow-up. And so as a customer, now I'm not acting as a personal growth and development because you're not my client, but I'm going to give you that push. I'm going to stretch you. I'm going to hold you accountable, and my words are going to be firm, and they may not feel good, right? So fast forward, come August, still no product, nothing, inboxing back and forth. And the business owner, you could tell that is very new into business, and has no customer relation type of skills, which is fine. You don't have to have that. You can develop that. That's something that's developed over time. I was in medical for 19 years. I dealt with patients on a regular basis, and the worst type of patient to deal with is a woman that's in her hormone imbalance is undone. She does not put her patch on, and a pregnant woman that has to go 9 months, and then just different GYN patients in its entirety breeds a different type of patients that a lot of people have that are in the medical field, especially if you're dealing with a high level of stress. Patients, you adapt that patient, you adapt that type of level of patience, but also that level of accountability where you say, hey, listen, I need you to aid in your own recovery. I need you to aid in your own health. I need you to produce something that helps me along the way. So in this particular situation, the owner just gave really poor feedback, or advice as a consumer, as a customer, and I started to get frustrated. So I started emailing people, and who that particular individual was attached to, say, hey, listen, I'm having an issue. What's going on? And so basically, I think for me, it was, and this is, you may be able to identify with this, the lack of self-accountability. That gets me frustrated is because, and it gets me frustrated to a point where I say, why would you neglect self-accountability? And, we all have policies and procedures and things to implement within our own company. But as a business owner, your policies and procedures are there for a reason. But common sense says, if a client is unhappy with your services and there is no resolution to the problem, can you go to the issue to resolve it where it's mutually beneficial to both parties, right? Sometimes it can happen, sometimes it can't. In this particular situation, I had to say, hey, listen, this is the thing. You either send me my product or you send me my money back. You can't have both. You can't have my product and my money. You can't have both. Send me one or the other. I'll leave it up to you to decide, but I need a decision within a certain period of time. I filed with my bank. Fast forward, I get a refund. And that allowed me to know that I will never deal with that particular company again. Is because you rather give me a refund than my product. You rather give me a refund than effective communication. And so that was my closure. And instead of me dragging it on and pondering over what just transpired, get my refund. I take my money, I go someplace else, and I get my product because you're not the only person selling the product, right? So that goes back to closure. My closure came with my refund. And because I did not get my closure, it opened up so much other frustration within inside of me. It's like, wait, I need to know if I'm going to get my product or I'm going to get my money back. But not giving me closure in regards to that cannot happen is because I govern my own space. So let's pivot and talk about, closure in a relationship. And closure in a relationship sometimes often doesn't happen. And I am an advocate to say this, and I say it so unapologetically. When they leave you, it's closure. When they cheat on you, it's closure. When they repossess your car, baby, that is closure. Learn how to handle what you can handle. You cannot expect everybody to give you what you deserve. If they cannot give you an apology, they cannot give you closure. And it is foolish of you to believe. It's not saying that you don't deserve it, because you do. But it is foolish for you to believe that someone that does not have the capabilities to apologize when they're wrong, to give you effective communication of how they're feeling within that relationship, and they decide not to give you closure and decide to leave, you have to process that internally. Understand that closure now at that point starts from within, and you have to move on to starting setting healthy boundaries. So that is not acceptable. That you move forward in a way where you accept that person for who they are, that you don't hold bitterness, that you don't hold animosity towards that person, you don't hold a grudge for that person. I just speak for myself because I was in a relationship where the relationship did not provide the closure that I thought I needed or that I was due, just because the person upped and, stopped calling, kind of ghosted, and we'll get to that later on. But it wasn't until a couple of years later that I realized is that sometimes when people can't give you closure, it's because they don't want to answer certain questions that are going to come up. They are not confrontational, and sometimes providing closure opens the door for confrontation to happen, or for that other person to say, wait, no, but you did this, and then it becomes an argument. So they choose to take a position of, I'm going to protect myself, and I don't need to provide that person with an answer. They should already know what they did to cause me to stop speaking to them, or leave, or to end the relationship, or to end the partnership. And 9 times out of 10, that's not the case, right? My love language is not your love language. My communication skills are not your communication skills. And part of personal growth and development is understanding is the difference between everybody's communication skills. So you will hear me say, how do you like me to communicate with you? Are you straight direct, or are you warm and fluffy? Like, what is your communication style? I pride myself in trying to understand how people are individually, so I'm not loving them and I'm not communicating with them in a language that they're not speaking. And so I encourage you, if you're in a relationship where someone, or you're coming out of a relationship, partnership, friendship, that someone has not provided closure to you, just know that that's closure enough for you. And now we need to figure out, how do we move forward so that particular relationship, friendship, or partnership doesn't hinder you moving in the right direction at the next level that you're going to be placed on. And that goes into what we're going to talk about next, which is healthy boundaries. There are so many different boundaries, whether it be physical boundaries, emotional boundaries, or material boundaries, that people set in place to let you know that there is a limit of engagement. And once you pass that limit of engagement, now it becomes uncomfortable. It may not become uncomfortable for the person on the receiving end, so much as a person on the giving end, right? So it will be uncomfortable for someone that you're giving your set boundaries to, is because they're like, whoa, where is that coming from, right? Because you don't have a clear communication of those particular boundaries. If physical boundaries, just that personal space, right? If someone comes and touches you on the shoulder, that's a personal boundary that may have been violated, right? And so your responsibility with establishing healthy boundaries is making sure that you effectively communicate those boundaries. In the beginning of every relationship, friendship, partnership, there's an interview process. You do it with your job. They interview you. They say, okay, these are the job descriptions. Are you able to do the job descriptions? And if you're not able to do the job descriptions, point out what is going to hinder you from doing the job descriptions. Okay. In a relationship, there's nothing different. In the beginning, you're getting to know each other, and you're going through the motions of setting out your health. You're setting out your boundaries, what you will and will not accept. And the only way that you're going to be able to display these is when conflict hits. When you get into a situation where you're not seeing eye to eye, then it's like, okay, wait, time out. Now we have identified that there is an issue. Now I need to identify what boundary have you crossed that I feel violated, that I feel like you've crossed those boundaries. It could be physical, emotional, material, intellectual, whatever the case may be. Now I have to identify where you've crossed the line so I can effectively tell you, you violated a boundary of mine. You may have not known it, but I am letting you know. You're giving that person an opportunity to improve. Okay? You're providing closure to that situation, and you're setting your boundary. You're putting your boundaries at the forefront to say, this is what transpired. This cannot happen. And if this continues to happen, this is the end result. And that is effective communication. That is taking your boundaries, owning them, having a healthy understanding about self and what they mean to you, and being able to grace somebody in the level of love and maturity that we as adults should be able to operate in. Will we hit the mark all the time? Absolutely no. No, we're not going to hit the mark all the time, but every day that you're alive gives you an opportunity for you to strive to be able to effectively communicate your healthy boundaries, what your boundaries are, and give people the opportunity to either adjust their situation, adjust the way that they're interacting with you, adjust the way that they're growing with you, and you guys can move forward in a healthier, happy manner, hopefully. And if not, it's okay to outgrow people. You're going to do that without, throughout your life. Who you had in elementary school may not be who you have in high school and in college. And that is okay. Everybody has a season and a purpose, and we have to make sure that we are identifying their position within our life, but giving them the tools and reaching back and grabbing them and saying, hey, listen, you may not be able to continue on my journey, but I'm going to let you know exactly what you did wrong so you can go ahead and self-reflect and change those things to better yourself for the next person that comes along, the next position that you're going to get, the next partnership that you're going to encounter, or the next customer that you're going to have to service within your business. It's an act of love. It's an act of effective communication, and we can all do it if we do the work. If we do the work, be okay. Be okay. Again, with people not giving you closure, but then again, be okay with them not being able to tell you the boundaries that you cross. Be okay with them saying, hey, listen, that didn't make me feel good. And I don't like what you said. I had to say it last night. I had to say it last night. And again, I said it tonight. I'm very vocal about protecting my space, about protecting what you will say to me, and protecting how you will make me feel. I have no problem holding you accountable. And I would hope that my tone and my pitch lets you know, hey, listen, what you said was offensive. And I take offense to that. And this is why I take offense to that. And being able to communicate with that person instead of, hanging up the phone and dismissing what they are saying, because what they're saying is important too. We may not think so, but if you listen more than you talk to what a person is saying, it will tell you a lot about that person. It will help you navigate how to move with that person, and it will tell you whether or not you want that person in your life long term. I have my notes because I want to stay on task and I want to stay within 30 minutes. But, the healthy boundaries is where we left off at. And that is a platform that opens up for effective communication and letting people know where you stand, letting them know how they violated, or, giving them feedback on how to improve self so the unit can be something great. Boundaries also open, for self-love and self-reflect and self-respect. But it also allows for the unit to have a mutual level of respect for each other. And it is amazing to partner with someone that has boundaries of their own, that respect your boundaries. And when you guys come to a place of conflict or a disagreement, you both have your boundaries, but you have this amazing level of peace, and your voices are not raised, and you guys are talking, and then the conversation just flows, and you guys go into another topic like it never even happened. Is because guess what? We learned how to talk it out. We learned how to use our communication skills, but still hold on to our boundaries effectively. And that's the thing. Make sure you do it efficiently and effectively. I absolutely love it. So the last thing we're going to talk about is something that I've experienced in dating, and you probably experienced it too, just with not not having the self accountability from someone. It could be a loved one, the apology that you're still waiting for from a family member that has wronged you. The wrong that a company did on your job, and then you end up losing your job and you feel angry and bitter towards that particular company, or just not having that person, there one day, gone the next, the ghosting. Ghosting is a poor behavior. But here, with my particular, we use everything for our benefit. So ghosting has, can be used in a beneficial way. If time goes on, and I'm trying to find the right words, it's because I think it's a horrible trait. I think people that ghost are selfish. I think to an extent, people that ghost and don't provide closure or have healthy boundaries, are broken in some places of their particular life. And I remember seeing a post earlier, and granted, the gentleman that was giving advice, saying, hey, listen, these are the boundaries that you cross, and there's no re-entry. The problem with that, and he had made some really, really good points, but the problem with not allowing someone back into your personal space that missed the mark because you did not effectively communicate your boundaries is not closure. That's ghosting. And that's saying you should know better because we were dealing with each other for a certain period of time. We're not mind readers. You should never, ever expect anybody to read your mind. And when you decide to ghost, there should be no re-entry. It's because the foundational piece is missing, which is the respect. In a relationship, if you're dealing with a male, female, or however you identify, there has to be a level of mutual respect. When you see someone just fall off the face of the earth and they don't provide you with any type of insight of anything, that is somebody that you don't need in your life. And that is somebody that does not need to re-enter into your space until they get it together. And until they show you that they are going to respect the space that they have been let into. We, in this particular world, we have this possession thing where we possess our children. We possess the relationship. We don't experience the relationships. We don't experience the friendships. We don't experience, having our parents pass a certain period of time. And, it's unfortunate that you have to grow into this type of outlook in life. It's not something that happens overnight. And I cannot tell you that 11 years ago, I was in this particular space, because I wasn't, right? But we all grow. And when we make it a point of growing to the point of benefiting self and getting into that selfish space that says, I need to develop myself personally. So I need to figure out what's going on with me, and what's going on with me and how I can respond. How can I be responsible, and how can I mature in certain areas? And when you take that onus onto yourself to develop yourself, you will have this outlook on life. Respect is not something that you earn. It is an individual person saying, you're going to have to respect me, and you're not going to have to earn my respect. That's something that you're going to come in the door doing, is respecting me. Because if you don't respect me, you don't get a seat at my table. If you don't respect me, I don't care if you're my parent or not. And we have this toxic this toxic platform within families that because it is your mother and your father and they're toxic, you got to allow it to happen is because the word of God says, honor thy mother and thy father, and your life will be fruitful and prosperous. That's if I make it out. That's if I make it out. And this is not a spiritual post. This is not something, that I want to take there is because at the end of the day, if that person is not respecting you, you have to place a boundary that divides you guys, saying, you can't deal with me. Until you get it together, you can't deal with me, because this is a boundary that you can't cross. And because you have no respect for me, we can't have any interaction. And so someone that ghosts you has no respect for you. And no, there should be no re-entry unless they show within their actions that what they did was wrong. So they come to you and say, hey, listen, what I did was wrong, and this is why it was wrong. And so I ask you for your forgiveness. And be okay if that person says, I forgive you, but that doesn't mean I have to fool with you. There are plenty of people in my life that I say, you know what? I forgive you, but I don't have to fool with you. And the reason why I'm not fooling with you is because you've displayed patterns that have gotten me to this point. So the first time you come back, you apologize, you let me know what you did wrong, we move forward. Second time, we do it again. Third time, we do it again. You're not going to have a constant level of repetition. Is repetition even a word? I don't know, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But you're not going to be able to repeat those patterns and me still be able to allow you into that intimate space. And, with friendships, it's like the inner court, the outer court, the holy. I'm a woman of God, so you may see a little bit of analogies scriptural wise, but I always like to think of my friendships as like the center and the most intimate, the ones that I confide in because my circle is really, really small. And then their behavior or our interaction kind of moves them out of the circle. And finally, they're so far out of the circle, I don't think twice about reaching out to you. Now distance is not what I'm talking about, right? We're not talking about distance and you moving on to better your career or you move on because you're married and your husband moves across the country and now you just have social media connecting you. We're not talking about those type of friendships. We're talking about friendships that run its course and they end up outside of the circle because of behavior, because of interactions, because of code, how they believe, what their beliefs are. And I believe that everybody has the capabilities of being their own individual person. At the core, you need to have those core similar values for us to be able to go the long distance. I'm not going to be, linked with someone that's not going to help me grow as a person. That's important to me. If I'm the smartest person in my group, that's not a group that I need to stay in, right? I need to figure out, I need to figure out how to move into a new social circle and who I want to bring from my old group into the social circle so we can all grow together, because the truth is you cannot bring everybody with you. Which leads me to the last thing that I want to talk about. If you are a ghoster, there is hope for you. There is hope for you to reel it back in and get it together and come center with yourself to figure out why you do what you do and grow from there. It could be because you don't like confrontation and you really don't know how to handle it because your temper is uneasy, or the person that you're dealing with is not rational and it goes from 0 to 100. But identifying that, and you not necessarily may have to go to that person and provide closure. It could be a text. It could be a card in the mail. It could be a voicemail to let them know this is the reason why I'm no longer coming around. And they may blow you up, they may call, they may write you back, they may cuss you to the gods, but that's okay. It's about you growing as a person and providing your situation with an end stamp. And some people say, okay, if you leave, that's closure enough. But how responsible are you going to be with the person that you say that you loved? How responsible are you going to be with the heart that you are responsible for however long you were responsible for it? You are attached to that soul, whether you like it or not. And soul ties are real. You don't want that coming back on you. Not saying in a bad way, but I believe in leaving every situation peacefully. And it could be my peace. I'm not looking to really kind of give people peace. I'm looking to keep my peace and keep moving in the right direction. And if I'm able to provide that to you, great. But if not, okay. So if you're ghosting, you're not good with confrontation, there are questions that you don't want to answer. At some point, you're going to have to answer those questions, whether it be to that person or to yourself, because quite frankly, you deserve it. You deserve why you run from situations. You deserve to know why certain things transpires that may get you not to be as equally as attractive to another person. You deserve to know why you run from family issues. You deserve that. As a ghoster, it's not right. Your behavior is not right. I'm not coming on here to pass judgment or to condemn you or anything. I believe everything has purpose. I believe that if you're given an opportunity to continue to walk this earth, there is purpose still left in you. And we may all fail, right? Even the people that provide closure. If you do all of it, you're still worthy. You still have a purpose and a calling, and that is to improve who you are as an individual. And it's about self. Honestly, honey, it is about who you are as a person. We are about 7 minutes over. But I feel that that these three topics go hand in hand, and you can have one without the other. But if you have all three of these in one particular setting, you can actually grow to the next level, right? You can have a different outlook on life and provide yourself with the needed stepping stones to improve overall. Accountability, effective communication, taking an onus of how to improve yourself and getting in tune with what's going on within you that leads you to your particular decisions. I absolutely love you guys. My name is Lyanna Annette. I am founder of Ready, Reset, Grow, which is a personal growth and development company. I partner with clients, whether it be for individual or small businesses, and I give you the tools needed to shape and reform your life to get you to grow in the right way across the board, whether it be personal, professional, or financial. My goal is to change the lives of everybody that I touch in some shape, form, or fashion, for me to imprint something good on a person so they can take it into their next season. I absolutely love you. We're going to close out in 40 minutes at the 40-minute mark. So if you want to get in contact with me, my contact is 832-994-4365. That's 832-994-4365. Or you can go onto my website at lyannannette.com and you can send me an inquiry about coaching, workshops. Yes, I do workshops, one-on-one coaching, Small business financial reset, where we kind of get your business up off of the ground and make sure that you guys are legal across the board. I am located in Texas, but I coach, worldwide, countrywide. If you're within the United States, it would be a Zoom, or if you're locally, we can meet. If you're in another country, which I do have 2 clients that are actually stationed someplace else working, we partner up to make sure that we're on a compatible platform for us to have the video interaction that we do. I absolutely love you guys. Today's topic, if you're getting in on the tail end of it, we covered closure. You hear Tyson? We covered closure, we covered healthy boundaries, and we covered ghosting, learning how to win regardless of where you fall within those 3 categories. I love you guys. I'm going to go take them to the dog park. I love you.